Good morning, students. Today in our English grammar period, I am going to start first chapter sentences, phrases, and clauses. A sentence is a group of words which can express complete sense. So, in sentence we use group of words and every word we use has a specific meaning. But only a word does not convey the complete meaning. Even a group of words not placed in a proper order cannot express a complete meaning. For example, lost I, watch my. So, from this sentence, we are not able to understand the meaning given by it or what it convey to us. But we arrange the same sentence in proper order. I lost my watch. So now we getting the point that what it convey to us. Now read the following sentences. A stitch in time saves nine. So it's a proverb and its meaning is if you sort out a problem immediately, it may save extra work later. Who is crying so loudly? How pretty she looked. Help the poor blind man cross the road. These are examples of sentences. Each one of them expresses complete sense. The silent feature of a sentence are a sentence must begin with a capital letter. At the end of a sentence, a full stop, a question mark, or an exclamation mark is used. That is punctuation marks. It has a subject and a predicate. So now what is subject? A person or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with. And what is predicate? Predicate is the part of a sentence or clause that tells us what the subject does, or is to put it another way, the predicate is everything that is not the subject. There are other groups of words which make some sense but not complete sense. Read the following. Early in the morning. Once upon a time, the place of her birth in the long run. The above four groups of words are examples of phrases. Each group conveys some meaning but not complete sense. Such groups of words expressing partial meaning are called phrases. None of them consist of subject or predicate. Yet there are other group of words which have subject as well as predicate, but they form parts of larger sentences. Read the following. I know that he is an honest man. We did not go out because it was raining. He asked her why she had not come. Nobody knew where he came from. In each of the above sentences, you have seen that a part of the sentence is in color. The colored part is the subordinate clause, and the remaining part is its main or a principal clause. Now, what is subordinate clause? A clause typically introduced by a conjunction that forms part of and is dependent on main clause. For example, although I was scared, I crept inside. So in this, although I was scared, that is subordinate clause, I crept inside, it's a main clause. So we can say Subordinate clause are used to add more information to sentences. A clause has its own subject and predicate. Such group of words which form parts of larger sentences and have subject and predicate of their own are called clauses. For example, some students work in the food pantry because they care about helping hungry people. So, in this, students and they, this both words are subjects, and work and care, they both are verb. The part that gives the main idea is the main or principal clause. The other part, joined together by conjunction, is the subordinate clause. So, the student in this chapter will learn about sentences, phrases, and clauses. Now, have a look on exercise portion of this chapter. Exercise A. Underline the phrases in the following sentences. So we have to underline the phrases in the given sentences. The woods covered with snow looked magical, covered with snow. He succeeded in the long run, in the long run. They were men of great renown, of great renown. Renown means the condition of being known or talked about by many people, fame. Authors of great renown. I wish to know the place of your birth, the place of your birth. A friend in need is a friend indeed, in need. He is an orphan without a home, without a home. The travelers reached the town late at night. So the answer is late at night. The man spoke in an angry manner, in an angry manner. We must return to the hostel without delay, without delay. Once upon a time, there lived a girl named Snow White. Once upon a time. Underline the clauses and point out the principal at the subordinate clauses and the subordinate clauses. So we have to underline the clauses and point out the principal and the subordinate clauses. I came late because my car broke down. I came late, principal clause, because my car broke down, subordinate clause. Everyone knew that she was innocent. Everyone knew, that is principal clause, that she was innocent, subordinate clause. You must submit the books or you will be fined. You must submit the books, principal clause, or you will be fined, principal clause. Or you will be fined, principal clause. Then after, she asked me, now she asked me why I had not attended the meeting. So in this, she asked me, principal clause, why I had not attended the meeting, that is subordinate clause. The way went home as he was not feeling well. The way went home, principal clause. as he was not feeling well. Subordinate clause. The poor woman cried bitterly, for her child was dying. The poor woman cried bitterly, that is principal clause, for her child was dying. Subordinate clause. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your neighbor, it's a principal clause, as you love yourself. Subordinate clause. She promised that she will accompany me. She promised, it's a principal clause, that she will accompany me. Subordinate clause. Do you know why he left in a hurry? Do you know, it's a principal clause, why he left in a hurry? It's a subordinate clause. We admire those who are virtuous. We admire, it's a principal clause, those who are virtuous. It's a subordinate clause. Virtuous means having or showing high moral standards. Now, exercise C. Determine whether the underlined words in the following sentences are sentences, phrases, or clauses. So now we have to identify sentences, phrases, or clauses, whether the underlined words are. Do not play in the rain. It's a phrase. A man lost everything if he loses his character. It's a clause. Reshma writes in a beautiful style. Phrase. A person who is truthful earns respect everywhere. Clause. All his friends expected him to win. It's a phrase. I take my breakfast before I go to school. Clause. Make hay while the sun shines. Clause. The tree is laden with fruit. Phrase. He ate the whole bunch of bananas because he was hungry. Clause. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Clause. So here exercise portion will be finished. So this much in this video, and now we will meet again in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.